In the tangled kingdoms of the Philippine rainforest, two perfect predators reign. One, a master of the sky. The other, a titan of the shadows. But what happens when the serpent learns to climb, and a mother's fortress is breached? In nature, there are titans. Living legends forged by millennia of evolution. In the skies of the Philippines, a winged king reigns supreme, a bird so powerful it hunts monkeys in the treetops. On the forest floor, a serpent of mythical proportions glides in the shadows, a constrictor so massive it can swallow a deer whole. This isn't fiction. This is nature's own epic, a battle between the master of the air and the master of the ambush. A primal conflict of aerial supremacy versus ground-based power. When this serpent decides to climb, invading the eagle's fortress to prey on its young, a battle for the ages is inevitable. Can the Sky Lord's lethal precision overcome the crushing, inescapable power of the world's longest snake? Who wins when a mother's fury meets a predator's relentless hunger? An aerial king, a guardian of the sky. A silent crusher, the master of the ambush. When these two titans meet in a battle for survival, who would win? In this corner, the guardian of the skies, the Philippine eagle. Known locally as herring ibon, or kingbird, it is a massive raptor with a wingspan stretching up to 7 feet. Weighing a lean but powerful 18 pounds, its structure is a masterpiece of evolution, built for explosive power and surprising agility within the cluttered canopy. Every ounce of this airborne predator is muscle and fury. Across the divide stands the silent crusher, the reticulated python, the world's longest snake. An absolute giant commonly exceeding 20 feet, it is a titan of a different order. In a straight weigh-in, there is no contest. A python this size can weigh over 160 pounds, nearly 10 times the mass of its opponent. Every ounce of that weight is muscle. A living engine of constriction, perfected for a single purpose, to squeeze the life out of its victims. The eagle's primary weapons are its talons. They are not merely claws, they are instruments of death. With a gripping force stronger than a lion's jaw, these 8 biological daggers can crush bone and skulls in an instant. Its sharp, curved beak is a secondary weapon, a formidable tool for tearing flesh. The python's attack begins with a bite, but its 100 backward curving teeth aren't for chewing. They are grappling hooks, designed to grip and hold as the real weapon is brought to bear, its body. A force so immense it stops the flow of blood to the brain in seconds. For defense, the eagle relies on mastery of its domain. Its agility in the air allows it to dictate the terms of engagement, guided by eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's. The python is armed with thick, overlapping scales, but its greatest defense is invisibility. A master of ambush, it can vanish into its surroundings, becoming a living trap. The tail of the tape reveals a classic matchup, speed versus power, a precision strike versus an inescapable embrace. The eagle's advantages are clear: superior vision, 3-dimensional mobility, and the shocking power of a targeted strike. The python's advantages are brute force and resilience. If it gets a grip, the fight is over. The arena for this conflict is the dense, multi-layered rainforest of the Philippines. This is the domain of a king. A vertical maze where life and death unfold 100 feet above the ground. Survival here requires absolute mastery of the air, and the eagle is the undisputed sovereign of this realm. It soars between colossal tree trunks, its piercing eyes missing nothing. But below the king's throne lies another empire. A world of shadow and silence, ruled by a different kind of power. Here, dominance is not won by flight, but by the art of the ambush. In this dark, humid, and claustrophobic world, the reticulated python reigns. It flows over the terrain with eerie silence, its iridescent scales a masterpiece of camouflage, a cloak of invisibility. Though their empires seem separate, they exist on a vertical collision course. One rules the light-filled canopy, the other, the shadowed earth. But the python is an expert climber, and their territories overlap. The lines are drawn. In the silent language of predators, a challenge has been issued and received. Two rulers of separate domains are now aware they are not alone. High above, nestled in the crown of an immense tree, is the prize that will force this confrontation, the eagle's nest, and inside, a single, downy chick. The continuation of a royal lineage, it is the most vulnerable target in the rainforest. Driven by ancient hunger, the python has picked up its scent. For the serpent, this is a calculated risk. A climb of over 100 feet for a meal that cannot fight back. An irresistible opportunity. It begins its slow, inexorable ascent. But this nest is not undefended. Returning from a hunt, the mother eagle lands silently, her sharp eyes catching a flicker of unnatural movement below. Her body goes rigid. All regal calm vanishes, replaced by a cold, primal fury. The python stops, coiling into a strike position. There is no fear in its cold eyes, only predatory resolve. The air crackles with tension. For a Philippine eagle, there is no motive more powerful, more absolute, than protecting its young. A fight is not just physical. It is a battle of minds. To understand the combatants, we must first understand their profession. The Philippine eagle is more than a hunter, it is a warrior, a guardian of its aerial territory. Its life is a constant battle, forging a warrior's instinct. When a rival hawk ventures too close, the eagle transforms from a calm sentinel into a furious aggressor, delivering a violent eviction notice. Its profession is defense. And every warrior has a signature weapon. When hunting, the eagle tucks its wings and plummets, becoming a streamlined projectile. Weaving through a maze of branches with impossible grace, it strikes its target with devastating force, transferring sheer kinetic energy in a lethal aerial assault. A strike of surgical precision, backed by overwhelming force. This is the eagle's secret weapon, driven by a mind capable of strategic cunning. It mates for life, works with its partner to build and fortify its nest, and invests years into raising a single chick. The python's profession is entirely different. It is not a warrior. It is an assassin. It operates alone, a solitary hunter perfected by millions of years of evolution. It does not fight. It simply kills to live. Its mind is different. It does not strategize. It operates on something older, more perfect, instinct. A living algorithm for locating prey. Lying motionless for hours, it is the embodiment of patience. When the moment is right, it erupts with incredible speed. The bite is just the anchor. The python's secret weapon is not venom. It is pure, mechanical power. As massive coils wrap around its victim, wave-like contractions apply relentless, suffocating pressure. It is a living hydraulic press from which there is no escape. The battle is set. What will prevail? The guardian's cunning strategy, or the hunter's perfect instinct? The standoff shatters. With a piercing shriek that echoes through the canopy, the mother eagle explodes from her branch. She doesn't hesitate. Folding her wings, she becomes a streamlined missile of feathers and fury, plummeting towards the invader. This isn't a hunt, it's an execution. Her eyes are locked on the one weak spot she can exploit, the python's head. The impact is staggering. With a sickening thud, she slams into the serpent, her talons sinking deep into the thick muscle and scales behind its skull. The python convulses, wounded but far from defeated. Its mouth gapes, revealing rows of sharp, backward-curving teeth, and its ancient combat instincts take over. The true battle has just begun. The python counterattacks with blinding speed. A thick coil lashes out, wrapping the eagle's right wing and pinning it against its body. The grapple is on. The eagle is now in mortal danger. If the python secures another coil, the fight will be over. A chaotic dance of survival erupts high above the forest floor, a whirlwind of feathers and scales. The eagle thrashes, beating its free wing to generate leverage, using its beak to stab and tear at the suffocating muscle. But the serpent's raw power begins to overwhelm it, dragging the bird into a crushing embrace. Just as it seems lost, the python makes a fatal mistake. As it loops another coil over the eagle's back, it exposes its head for a split second. In a moment of pure combat intelligence, the eagle repositions its grip. It drives its talons with focused ferocity directly into the python's skull, piercing bone. It's a desperate, all-or-nothing maneuver. The serpent's massive body goes rigid in a final, violent spasm. The pressure vanishes. The eagle presses its advantage, a final, powerful flex of its talons severing the central nervous system. The python's lethal coils go slack, unwinding from the victorious bird. The colossal serpent, now a dead weight, plummets over 100 feet, crashing through the canopy to the forest floor below. Exhausted, feathers ruffled, the guardian has won. The outcome is definitive. By targeting the head, the central command, the eagle neutralized 20 feet of muscle with a few inches of talon and bone. It was a victory of precision over power, of a warrior's strategy over a hunter's raw strength. In the ruthless calculus of the wild, size is not always the deciding factor. For in this kingdom, there is no force in nature more powerful, more absolute, than a mother's will to defend her young. The king bird remains on its throne.